Everybody up with what I gave as a Christmas gift last year. We did the Grand Deluxe Assortment. Carrie Miletto is joining us.
Hello.
For all of our family members, because we knew it was great for the adults and for the kids.
Right.
We knew it was great for the holiday parties that they were throwing, so we had to include the biggest and best in our first ever Top 10 gift show. What you're gonna get today is crumb cakes, is brownies, and is cookies. You don't choose one, you get all 3 in great boxes that go in the freezer. It's 44 servings for less than 50% of the retail value. So you've got grab and go hostess gifts. You've got Christmas gifts. You've got last minute dessert when you need it. This basically could be top 10 gifts all in one purchase. It's the first time you're seeing it at our special holiday price, our special flexible payment opportunity today. We've reduced the shipping and handling, and Carrie's gonna give you so many ideas, because when this can get freezer to table, my goodness, you've got gifts and gifts and gifts galore.
And it's just because you have so much of different choices. No matter what anyone likes, you've got it covered. So 5 boxes are coming to you, and let's talk about what's inside those 5 boxes. Then we'll go through the real important part, how they taste, right? Because you wanna make sure if you're sharing them with friends and family that you can feel confident about what you're sharing. So what is coming in this? You're gonna get a full dozen of our mint chocolate chip cookie. And so that cookie is actually gonna have a cocoa base, and it's gonna have mint chips in it. And I'm gonna come back and talk about that in a moment. Our red velvet cookie, you're gonna get a full dozen of those. You're gonna get a full dozen of our, oh my gosh, and I can't even touch it because I'm gonna get chocolate all over me. Our chocolate chunk cookies, which this is what made David famous in the 70s and continuing on. So you're gonna get 3, that covers 3 of your boxes. Then in another box is going to be your brownie selection, our chocolate chip brownies, as well as our peanut butter brownies with Reese's Pieces, because we don't play. So you're gonna have those in one box, and then another.
There's something here for drool, right?
Okay.
I need
it. Like in a bucket. And then another box is gonna have your crumb cake selection. So it's gonna have your original crumb cake and then your raspberry crumb cake. So that covers your 5 boxes. Now, how you're gonna use this is entirely gonna be different for everyone. You may serve this to your own family. You may serve this to your kids. You may bring this for the parties that we're gonna have. You may take one box to your office and share it with the office
And let's call it like it is. What do you spend at your local bakery? What do you spend at your grocery store for a little box of you're embarrassed to bring them cookies? First of all, when you show up with this box, they know you bought the best.
Yes.
They know you're treating them to the best. But when we talk about 5 different boxes, you're talking about $7 and change per box. That's what you spend at the grocery store for something that's disposable, for something that you're embarrassed to give unless you put it in a different tin or a different box. These are delicious tasting, they're soft, they're fresh baked to order when you order them today. And for really the first time I've seen in a long time, we're not saying, do you want brownies? Here's your choice. Do you want crumb cakes? Here's your choice. Do you want cookies? Okay, there's that. You get everything. So hide a box for 2 for yourself and keep them in the freezer. Keep the gift choice to give as the hostess gift. Have the sweet treat to give at the office party. Have something to maybe wrap in cellophane and put on top of a gift. I mean, you could have 44 individual gifts here with all the servings that you're getting today. And look at how soft and moist and delish each one of those cookies is.
So this is, again, the mint chocolate chip, which is gonna have chocolate chips throughout on a cocoa-based cookie with the mint chips. Then you're getting a full dozen of those. Our red velvet, unbelievable. This one is, a lot of people don't realize red velvet is actually a cocoa-based cookie. They think that it's like a food coloring situation, but it's actually cocoa base. And then we put our chocolate chips and our white chocolate chips throughout. So that gives it just absolutely, this is one of my favorite cookies actually, especially this time of year. Chocolate chunk has the huge chunks of chocolate. This is the one that always gets messy sometimes, but I love it because that is, you never want to get a cookie that's supposed to be a chocolate chip cookie and you can't find any of the chocolate chips.
So, you know, I mean, I hate to call you out, but do you know how much chocolate is on Carrie's fingers?
I know, look at.
Do you get any cookie at any price that oozes and gooeys and covers? Is that not the best cookie experience possible?
Yes.
And you're getting a ton of them today. I mean, this is one of those like emergency kits that should be in your freezer so that when you need a hostess gift, when you need a thank you gift, when you want to treat yourself, you've got the best that exists in the world today. This is our David's Top 10 pick. This is our huge Grand Deluxe Assortment. And remember, if you were to go buy this from David's, It's $75.
Yeah.
It's only because of our buying power. It's only because we featured this as one of our top 10 picks of the day that you are getting it all for $12 on your credit card. We are talking about 18 ounces of chocolate chunk cookies, not chocolate chip. Chocolate chunk. 18 ounces of chocolate mint chip cookies, 18 ounces of red velvet cookies, then your brownies, your chocolate chip and your peanut butter, and your crumb cakes, both your original and your raspberry. All of it today are true top all-in deluxe assortment for $12 on your credit card.
And I want you to understand, when these come, so the crumb cakes, for example, are coming individually wrapped inside the box. So they're gonna look like this. So when you take them out, they are very large pieces. Please look at it inside my hand. You can actually cut this into 4. So if you're having people over and you wanna give a nice dessert, I would cut these in like to 4s. Look at this raspberry in the inside. This is pure raspberry preserves. This is not just like, you know, some cheap syrup or something like that. We take real raspberries, we spread them. You can actually see the seeds when you look up close. But what I did here, I want to show you, we cut them into little 4s, and you can actually place these however you like. I like cake trays or like just really decorative trays that you can use, and that is how you show off at your party. And just put them maybe even on a silver tray, like a nice little silver tray in just little pieces, and you can break up the brownies the same way. So cut them into 4s because again, so big, coming separately packed.
Well, and listen, we're talking about gifts. You know, sometimes at the office, sometimes during the season, sometimes a bow on top of this throughout the year, throughout the season, makes a huge difference.
Huge difference.
When you bring this into somebody and you just hand it to them with a bow on it, you know, when you go to your doctor's office and the receptionist has always been so nice to you and always slips you in for that last minute appointment. Yeah. You know, when you go to your manicurist, you know, sometimes it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Sometimes it's a tiny gesture that means a grand difference. Our grand deluxe assortment is a grand collection of tiny gestures that make a huge difference, or a big, huge set to stock up for the season. But the fact that these are individually packaged, the fact that you're getting the iconic cookies, in addition to the brownies and the crumb cakes, if you're gonna shop great sweets, great treats with us during this holiday season here at HSN, this is your buy, if you ask me.
Look, I mean, this is like, again, you know, when I get something a baked good and I want a chocolate chip, the chocolate chunk spread all the way throughout. There's nothing that you don't go, where is it? Where do I find it?
You have your chocolate chunk cookie. I'm gonna go for some real deal Reese's.
So the Reese's, the peanut butter actually has peanut butter piped throughout the actual brownie.
Oh yeah, it does.
And then we put, because look, I want to show you here. So there's the piping of the peanut butter, and then we also put the Reese's Pieces on top. So we don't play around. And then inside, when you get inside, that is our melted down chocolate. We do not use mixes. We don't put water in there. This is pure melted down chocolate that we form into our brownies, and then we put all the other good stuff on top. So this is an experience. You don't
necessarily know this until I told you at the beginning of the show, but you know, last year we were getting ready to have a baby.
Yeah, I remember.
We were selling our house. Life was a bit chaotic in my home. And this was the easiest gift selection for everybody. For the in-laws, for the parents, for both the adults and the kids. We got thank you after thank you after thank you. You get those guilty giggly calls, the like, I don't know whether to thank you or kill you. Right now I'm thanking you. Once I get through my 4th crumb cake, I may have something other to say to you. But
my gosh.
You know, it's just, sometimes we need to take the mystery, the confusion, the complicatedness out of gift giving, and great sweet treats at a time of year when everybody's kind of nesting and relaxing, and is such a universal, phenomenal choice. So we've really, for our first top 10 gift show, put our best assortment possible together, so that if you want cookies, you get them. If you want brownies, you get them. If you want crumb cakes, you get the picture, get them. And today, you get it for less than half of what David's Cookies charges on their own, because they wanted to be a part of our big, huge movement to offering the best gifts for absolutely everybody. So I wholeheartedly recommend the David's Cookie holiday experience. And today you're getting a great deal to get early access on it.
Absolutely. And you know, you just never know when someone's gonna drop by at this time of year, and you never know when you're gonna get invited somewhere at this time of year.
Yeah.
So being able to just grab a box, if you say, okay, you know what? Oh, so-and-so invited us for dinner. We shouldn't show up empty-handed. Grab a box of the David's Cookies. Let's bring those over. And then you say, I've got dessert. And you just bring this over and pop it out. Warming up these cookies for just a few seconds Makes them like they just came right out of the oven. That's all you need to do. It'll smell up the entire kitchen area and wherever it is you're serving them, and they just get super soft, nice and crispy on the outside. You're getting tons of choices. No matter what anyone wants, wherever you're headed, you've got it covered.
So I'm just trying to get a camera out and over because apparently our worker bees, our holiday elves, see, listen, you want something that gets the entire crew to sit down and treat themselves the way they deserve to be treated. Guys, I'll cover everything the rest of the hour. You eat.
I'll roll the table out.
Yeah, Carrie and I'll do it.
We'll take care of it.
When cookies come into play, the work for the night is done.
Over.
You want to talk about a cookie to set out for Santa to make sure the gifts are going to be the best that they're going to be? Maybe set out a brownie and surprise him this year.
Yeah.
And it's a David's Cookies brownie. You may be surprised at what gifts show up.
I think so. I've never had any. Usually when I show up, I'm now known as the cookie lady or the brownie lady. And when I show up at any of my friends' houses and I have one of these, they're like, what did you bring us this time? They're so excited. Well, so that'll be you now.
You know, and listen, Carrie, I've been guilty. I've shown up at a friend's house at play dates with the clear plastic from the grocery store.
Oh, right.
And everybody knows it was that last minute clear plastic from the grocery store. You did it because you're a good guest and you're supposed to do it. But what did you really do? Is it really remembered? You show up with a red David's Cookies box that stays in that person's fridge or on their countertop or in their freezer if they have just a modicum of self-control for a couple of days. And they remember the sweet treats that you brought. Remember, you're getting 5 individual boxes today. They're loaded with cookies, they're loaded with brownies, they're loaded with crumb cakes. We couldn't possibly do our best ever gifts without doing this one. Now we're gonna go to the phones right now. We've got Rachel who's joining us this evening from Ohio. Rachel, thanks for joining us for Top 10 Gifts.
Hello.
Hi. So did you get yourself a deluxe assortment?
I did. This is the first time. My biggest concern, I got to tell you, you get a lovely, lovely presentation as you still are. And considering the fact that I was a little evasive because I didn't know how long they would hold up during the holiday season.
So how long will they?
And you mentioned throw them in the freezer, which, you know, normally that makes most sense to me, but I was still concerned about the length of time because it's only November 1st.
6 months you have for any of our goods. So when you put them in the freezer, they'll last up to 6 months.
And Rachel, I can attest, there is always an emergency supply in my freezer. Take them out and let them thaw for just a couple of hours. They will taste instantly, immediately, totally and completely fresh.
Oh,
if you,
I know my son, he's an oil rigger.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna love them. He's gonna love absolutely every flavor, and so are you.
And my daughter-in-law, she's a nurse. She loves her sweet tooth, and she's a lovely, caring person. And I know they love their sweets. And one of the things when we are able to get them to have time to come to family functions, the first thing they go to is, what did you make? And I'm usually always making my own things, but this just is an awesome, absolutely stunning, mouth-watering looking assortment. I have to give you that.
Well, listen, Rachel, it is. I'm so glad you took the plunge. I promise you will be very satisfied. So will your son.
Well, then you'll be more
so will your daughter.
because I'm going to take a second plunge when we get off the phone because I'm going to buy a second set.
All right, well, listen,
That'll
Rachel.
be for us here at home.
I'll get you right back over to a customer service representative so you don't have to call back. Thank you so much for your call. Thanks for taking the plunge, and thanks for joining us for our first ever Top Gift Show. Okay, over 600 sold with over 600 of you on the phone right now. Stocking up. We're going to stay here for just one additional second. So as Rachel said, we can give you one last mouth-watering tease and taste of what you and everybody in your family is going to get home today.
What we're doing. So real quick, if you're thinking about this, it's 5 boxes that are coming to you just like this. You're getting 1 box of crumb cakes, which are going to be our original crumb cake and our raspberry crumb cake, individually wrapped, 2 of each. You're getting 2 of our Reese's Pieces peanut butter brownies and 2 of our chocolate chip brownies, which we are well known for. So that's another box. Then you're getting a full box of our chocolate chunk cookies, which equates to a dozen or 18 ounces. Then you're getting another dozen of our red velvet chocolate cookies, which I just have to break into that one. It's falling apart in my hands. And then the mint chocolate chip cookies, which if you are a chocolate lover with mint, you're gonna go gaga over this.
So right here you're getting 36 David's cookies.
Correct.
Just to get started.
Yes.
Think about it that way. Think about what you'd spend at their iconic bakery. Think about what you'd spend at any bakery for a great cookie. 36 of them,
Correct.
and then let's call them $1 a piece. It's 95 cents for everything else that you're shopping for today during our Top 10 Gift Show. 5 individual boxes. Join Rachel, get a set for yourself, get a set for the kids. We can delivery direct them anywhere in the country. You know, that saved us too. We had everyone directly shipped to the recipients.
Awesome. You know, years ago I would have never done it, but now that once you do it, you go, that's so much less stressful.
Carrie, you'll have kids soon, and then you'll realize we got to cut a few corners every once in a while when there's diapers and bottles, and life happens, and the holidays still happen too every single day. So join us, stock up today. Wow, join the over 750 strong to get our best deal on our Grand Deluxe Assortment. Carrie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So appreciate it. We got to get you one of those little elf hats.